What if the love you thought was gone forever suddenly walked back into your life? Heartland Season 19 doesn't just give fans a surprise, it delivers a moment that redefines everything we thought we knew about Amy, her journey, and the family she has carried on her shoulders. Borden's shocking return is not just about one man coming back, it's about broken hearts finding hope again, about the weight of years of grief colliding with the miracle of second chances. And as the story unfolds, every character, every emotion, and every memory is pulled into this storm of love, pain, and healing. Heartland Season 19 begins with a tone unlike any before. There is a quiet tension, a subtle change in the rhythm of the ranch that makes even the most familiar places feel different. Amy continues her life with strength, raising Lindy and finding comfort in the routines that have kept her grounded. Yet beneath the surface, there is something unspoken, something stirring. It's in the way Jack lingers with his thoughts, in the way Lou hesitates when she looks toward the future, and even in the way Lindy asks innocent questions that seem to carry deeper meaning. The show creates an atmosphere where silence feels heavy, where every glance and every word seems to be preparing us for something monumental. Amy herself is the heart of this setup. She has grown stronger over the years, carrying her grief with dignity but never letting it break her. In her eyes, you can see both resilience and longing. She has built walls to protect herself, not because she has stopped loving Ty, but because surviving meant she had no other choice. Life has continued, but pieces of her heart remain untouched, waiting. This season captures that perfectly, showing Amy not as someone who has moved on, but as someone who has learned to live with absence. The suspense grows slowly but surely. The writers leave hints scattered like breadcrumbs, a pause in Amy's breath as she looks at an old photograph, Jack muttering that the air feels different this year, Lou mentioning how quickly things are changing. None of these moments scream of a grand event, yet they all whisper to the audience, something is coming. The brilliance lies in how understated it is. Viewers feel the weight of expectation without being told directly. It's the calm before a storm, where every second stretches just a little too long, every silence feels too heavy, and the land itself seems to hold its breath. Then comes the turning point. Ty's presence is not revealed with fanfare or music, but with quiet power. It is the simplicity that makes it breathtaking. For Amy, the moment is shattering. The man she thought she lost forever, the love she has carried in silence for years, stands before her. At first, she doesn't even move. Her breath catches, her body stiffens, and her eyes widen with disbelief. It is as though time stops. The weight of every sleepless night, every whispered memory, every tear shed in private, all of it collides in one single instant. Her emotions are layered. Shock is the first, sharp and consuming. Then fear that this isn't real, that it could be taken away again. And then, as her vision blurs with tears, love. Not the quiet love she has carried for years, but the overwhelming kind that rushes in when the heart finally recognizes what it has been waiting for. When Amy whispers his name, Ty, it is not just a word. It is years of silence breaking open, a cry from her soul, and a reminder to the audience of how deep and eternal this love has always been. But Amy is not the only one shaken. The family feels the ripple immediately. Jack, who has always been the steady anchor, takes in the sight with quiet wisdom. His expression carries shock, but also relief, as though a missing piece of his family has been returned. Lou, ever the protector, reacts with hesitation, her heart split between hope and fear. Tim hides behind his tough exterior, but his eyes betray him. And Lindy, innocent and pure, studies the man before her with wide-eyed wonder, sensing the bond even before she fully understands it. This first section of the season is about setting the emotional foundation. It is not just Ty's return, it is the unraveling of years of pain and the beginning of healing. The beauty of Heartland is that it does not rush. Instead, it lets the audience feel the silence, the tears, the heartbeat of every character as they stand on the edge of something extraordinary. It is this patience, this deliberate unfolding, that makes the moment unforgettable. The shock of Ty's return doesn't end with Amy's breathless silence. It spreads through the Heartland family like a wave, touching each soul in a different way, peeling back layers of grief, love, and doubt. What makes this episode unforgettable is not just the reunion itself but the unique journey every character takes as they confront this miracle that has stepped into their lives. Jack Bartlett is the first to truly anchor the moment. For years, he has carried his grief quietly, never one to express emotions in grand gestures, but always feeling them deeply. He saw Ty grow from a troubled boy into a man he admired, and losing him left a wound that time never fully closed. When Ty appears before him again, Jack doesn't rush forward or drown the scene in words. Instead, he lets the moment breathe, his eyes reflecting a storm of relief, shock, and gratitude. And when he finally speaks, his words are simple but heavy with meaning. "Welcome home, son." Those 3 words break through the silence like sunlight cutting through clouds. For Ty, that acceptance means everything. And for the viewers, it reminds us why Jack has always been the heart of Heartland, the man whose wisdom and quiet strength hold the family together. Lou's reaction is more complicated. Her entire life has been about protecting Amy, about carrying responsibilities and guarding her family from more pain. She remembers every night Amy cried herself to sleep, every moment Amy held Lindy in her arms trying to be strong when her world had shattered. So when Ty suddenly reappears, Lou is torn in two. Her heart leaps at the sight of him, but her mind demands answers. How? Why now? Can this be trusted? She wants to celebrate with her sister, but she also fears that this joy might be ripped away again. Her hesitation adds another layer of tension to the story, because Lou's cautious optimism mirrors what many fans feel watching, excitement mixed with the fear that miracles sometimes come at a price. Tim, as always, hides behind his tough exterior. He crosses his arms, his expression hard, almost defensive. But even he cannot disguise the emotion rising inside him. For all his stubbornness, Ty was like a son to him. Losing him was a pain Tim carried in silence, one that hardened him even more. Now, faced with Ty's return, his first instinct is to resist, to protect himself from hope. Yet as he sees Amy's tears and Lindy's innocent embrace, his walls begin to crumble. His voice wavers, his eyes glisten, and for the first time in years, Tim allows himself to feel the joy he has been denying. His reaction is raw, imperfect, but deeply human, a reminder that even the toughest hearts can break open when faced with love. And then there is Lindy, whose innocence transforms the scene into something unforgettable. She has grown up hearing about her father, feeling his presence only in stories and memories. But now, here he stands, real and alive. At first, she studies him with the cautious curiosity of a child, her wide eyes searching for truth in his face. And then, when Ty kneels and opens his arms, she runs into him with all the purity of unconditional love. That embrace is more powerful than any words. It's the moment that confirms Ty is not just returning to Amy, but to the family he left behind. For viewers, it is a reminder that bonds built on love cannot be erased, no matter how many years pass. Georgie's response carries its own quiet strength. She doesn't rush in like Lindy or crumble like Amy. Instead, she takes a step back, processing. For Georgie, Ty was always a guide, someone who helped her grow and believe in herself. Seeing him again is like being reminded of her younger self, the girl who leaned on him for strength. Her embrace comes later, filled not just with relief but with gratitude. It's the reaction of someone who understands the weight of life's hardships and chooses to believe in second chances. Each of these reactions builds a tapestry of emotion. Joy, disbelief, fear, relief, all collide in the family's stunned silence and tender embraces. Heartland Season 19 doesn't treat Ty's return as a single moment, it treats it as a ripple effect, touching everyone in ways that are both deeply personal and profoundly universal. The audience feels it too, because the emotions on screen mirror the emotions in our hearts, the longing for miracles, the fear of losing them, and the hope that love really can conquer all. This section of the story reminds us that family is not just about blood or even about time, it's about connection. Ty's return may seem impossible, but what truly matters is how it reshapes the people who love him. Every tear, every whispered word, every hesitant step forward brings us closer to the truth that has always defined Heartland: love endures, even through the darkest nights. As the initial shock settles and the family begins to process Ty's return, there comes a moment when Amy and Ty finally step away from the noise, away from the watchful eyes of those around them. This private encounter is the beating heart of the episode, the moment where years of silence, longing, anger, and love crash together in a storm of emotion that neither of them can hold back. For Amy, the weight of this moment is almost unbearable. She has dreamed of Ty for years, whispered his name in the dark when no one was listening, and carried the ache of his absence in everything she did. Now, he is here, real, alive, standing in front of her. But with his presence comes the flood of pain she buried just to survive. She doesn't smile, not at first. Her eyes are wet, her hands tremble, and when she finally speaks, her voice is filled with both fury and heartbreak. "Why now?" she whispers. "Do you have any idea what it's been like without you?" These words are not accusations, they are the truth of a woman who has carried a burden far heavier than anyone ever should. Ty listens in silence, his own eyes brimming with regret. He reaches for her hands, but he does not interrupt. Instead, he lets her spill the truth she has kept locked inside for so long: the nights she cried herself to sleep, the mornings she forced herself out of bed for Lindy's sake, the countless times she thought she had finally found peace only to break again at the sound of his name. Every word cuts through the air like a blade, and Ty feels each one pierce his soul. When he finally speaks, his voice is soft, but unshakable. "Amy, I can never give back the years we lost. I can never take away your pain. But not a single day went by that I didn't think of you, of Lindy, of us. My heart never left you, even when my body wasn't here." It is not a perfect explanation, nor a fair one. Amy's tears fall freely now, because love and pain are colliding in her chest. Part of her wants to run into his arms, to hold him and never let go. Another part wants to scream, to demand why she had to suffer, why Lindy had to grow up without a father. But as her heart battles itself, the truth becomes undeniable: the love she has for Ty never died. It was buried under grief, hidden behind walls of strength, but it has been alive all along, waiting for this very moment to surface. Their conversation does not shy away from the truth. Amy admits her anger, her brokenness, the countless times she tried to move forward but couldn't because everything reminded her of him. Ty admits his regret, his own torment of being away, the helplessness of not being able to change the past. Neither of them pretends this reunion erases the years of pain. Instead, they face it head-on, with honesty that is raw and almost too painful to watch. And then, amidst the tears and confessions, comes the shift. Amy's voice softens, her walls slowly beginning to crumble. "Even when I tried to move on," she admits, "I couldn't. Because my heart was always yours." Those words break the last barrier between them. Ty pulls her close, their foreheads resting together, their silence saying what words cannot. The love that has always defined them is still there, scarred, weathered, but unshaken. This private confrontation is not about a fairy tale ending. It is about two people choosing to face the storm together. Amy asks the question that hangs heavy in the air: "Are you here to stay?" Ty's answer is certain, unwavering. "I'm here for you. For Lindy. For us. Always." And in that promise, the pain of the past collides with the hope of the future. For the first time in years, Amy allows herself to believe, not in a dream, but in a reality where love has returned to her doorstep. The brilliance of this section lies in its vulnerability. It does not erase the past, nor does it rush toward the future. It sits in the uncomfortable but beautiful truth that love and pain can exist together. It shows us that healing is messy, that forgiveness is not instant, but that when hearts are bound so deeply, nothing, not even time or tragedy, can sever that bond. This is the heart of Heartland Season 19, the courage to face brokenness and still choose love. The return of Ty Borden is not just a storyline, it is a test of love, resilience, and destiny. Season 19 makes one thing very clear: Heartland is no longer only about horses, ranch life, and challenges, but about the power of relationships that can survive even the deepest pain. Amy and Ty's reunion is written with care, allowing viewers to experience both the joy of love restored and the fear of love lost again. Amy's heartfelt journey continues to face obstacles. Even though Ty has returned, everything is not as easy as it seems. Ty struggles with his own inner battles. Being away for so long has changed him. He is not the same person Amy once knew, and she must learn to love him all over again while also protecting Lindy from the confusion that comes with her father's shocking return. Their interactions are filled with tension, tenderness, and moments of silence that speak louder than words. Meanwhile, Heartland itself becomes more than a backdrop, it feels alive, almost like a witness to everything unfolding. The land that once healed Ty now holds the key to helping him stay. Amy believes that the same horses, the same fields, and the same skies that gave her strength will do the same for Ty. This belief pushes her to fight for him, no matter how uncertain the future looks. Family plays a major role in this journey. Jack, as the unshakable pillar of Heartland, reminds Amy that love is not just about holding on, it is also about letting go when necessary. Lou, as always, balances practicality with emotion, trying to protect Amy from getting hurt again while secretly rooting for her happiness. And Georgie, now grown and mature, sees Ty's return as a chance for the family to finally heal old wounds. But Season 19 doesn't promise only healing. It teases conflict. Old secrets, unresolved grief, and the constant fear of losing Ty again hover like shadows over the family. Every smile is mixed with doubt, every moment of laughter feels like it could break. And yet, that's exactly what keeps the audience hooked, because love without risk is not love at all. The ending of this season is crafted to stay in your mind long after the final credits roll. The last episodes will push Amy and Ty to the edge, forcing them to decide whether they will walk forward together or if their paths will separate once more. Heartland Season 19 is not just about Ty's shocking return, but about Amy's strength as she faces her deepest fears. Her journey is heartfelt, powerful, and inspiring, reminding us that even in the darkest nights, love can guide us home. So as viewers, we are left with one haunting question: can Amy and Ty truly rebuild their life together, or has too much changed to turn back time? That suspense is the soul of Season 19, and it's what makes this chapter of Heartland unforgettable. As the season reaches its climax, the emotional storm inside Heartland grows stronger. Ty's return has brought joy, but it has also reopened wounds that were never fully healed. Amy finds herself standing at a crossroad where every decision could shape the future of her family. Should she trust in love's second chance, or should she protect her heart from breaking again? The bond between Amy and Ty is undeniable, but trust is fragile. Viewers witness moments where Ty pulls away, haunted by his absence and the choices that kept him from home. He questions whether he deserves Amy's forgiveness, or if Lindy will ever look at him as her father again. These doubts bring raw honesty to the story, reminding us that love is not only about reunion, but also about rebuilding what was lost brick by brick. Amy, however, is determined. Her heartfelt journey is about more than just reuniting with Ty, it is about rediscovering her own strength. She faces the fear of loss with courage, teaching Lindy that hope is stronger than fear. Together, mother and daughter show Ty that family is not about perfection, but about holding on even when everything feels uncertain. The ranch itself reflects this transformation. Horses that once symbolized freedom now mirror the struggles of the family. Some are wild, hard to tame, and unpredictable, just like Ty's emotions. Others are gentle, steady, and loyal, just like Amy's heart. Every scene set in the open fields and stables feels like a metaphor for the battles the family is fighting inside themselves. And just when it seems like healing has begun, the writers deliver one final twist. A decision must be made, one that could either unite the family forever or break them apart once again. The suspense builds as Amy and Ty face this last trial, reminding us that love stories are powerful not because they are easy, but because they survive the hardest storms. Heartland Season 19 leaves its audience breathless, torn between tears and hope. Ty Borden's shocking return is more than a dramatic twist, it is a reminder that life doesn't always give second chances, but when it does, we must fight for them with all our hearts. And Amy's heartfelt journey proves, once again, that love, family, and resilience are the true spirit of Heartland.